Hey guys, I'm Max Bücher and today I'm going to show you how I made Before I Let Go. It has been released on Sekora last month and I'm really happy and excited to share today how I made this track and why I believed it got signed to Sekora and why they accepted it. So let's dive right into it. So the track basically sounds like this. Now you have a small taste of the track. This is the pure production phase. This has not been mixed yet. I've been mixing the track in a different project. At first I want to talk a bit about the lead element. So the lead element started with this piano sample. And I basically here chopped it up into a rhythm I liked. And completed the melody because it was not completed in the original sample. Now I did this for 8 bars. I looped this for 16 bars. And then I introduced eventually this main vocal step right here, which basically is sounds like this. And basically what it was just a sample I found and I pitched it down 2 octaves. The original sample sounds something like this. And I basically just pitched it down and activated a bunch of processing on it, making it more of like a unique vocal step. And it really complemented the main melody here. And the reason I added this was because at this point, if I would only have the piano melody play, it would get way too repetitive. Even if I would only use a kick at this point and add a bass, it would still be too repetitive in the lead section. So I needed a subtle change and I created this through this vocal here. Now, after another 16 bars, I realized, there needs to be another change. So I introduced this Forever flute. It's a preset from Pigments. And so basically what I did here is I just kind of played the main melody that we already established and kind of played sometimes a little bit around it. What that basically means, I don't follow the exact melody. I kind of just sometimes go up and sometimes I go down. You can see this especially here where I have another Forever flute layer. And this gives it like a lot of variation over now all of these bars, over these 48 bars. And I found this another sample that supports the Forever flute here. It's a reversed riser. It sounds something like this. And I pitched it up and down just to give it more variation to the Forever flute. And basically what I did here, it was just a reversed melody, pitch it up and down with some phase distortion, and then I grouped it all, and on the group I put one echo and a bit of bit crusher just to make it a bit more saturated and sound a bit more full. So that's what I did for the lead elements. Now for the pads that kind of fill up the low mids, I used something called Diva. You probably know it. It's my favorite pad plugin. I used to be really inspired by Ben Böhmer, and he would always use a sine wave with noise here, and I did something similar. I did noise with a saw wave, and it sounds like this. And I just basically opened the cutoff up, just to give it some variation, and I layered this with another pad from Pigments that gives it a bit more character. And doing this just adds a lot of energy. Then one atmosphere in the background that just runs through the entire time. And that kind of creates a bit of tension because it's only one note throughout the entire time. Now, for the drums, I used the kick here from PML. Later on in the original release, I changed this with a kick from Kick 2 because this one didn't have that much low end. But I just used this kick, then I used some claps. I also love to layer claps with snaps just because it makes it a bit more organic and opens up the entire clap. Just a cool little tip there. Then some normal hats. Again, I always load them into the sampler, so I don't need to copy and paste them forever. Sometimes I do it, but most of the time I love using the sampler. Also because it gives you the opportunity to humanize your hats through MIDI. I'm gonna talk about this in the future a bit more. Now, the best thing about the drum part here is the cymbal pattern, which is a bit broken and makes it all very, again, organic. And the most important part is just to have this organic element in each section, in the drums, in the bass, in the pads, and in the main lead. And this really humanizes the track without having it being too static. Now let's just go through the rest of the drums. Just some normal tom pattern here. Some shakers and some noise heads to open it up towards the end. Now in the drum fill, I used a bus send effect, and I basically just send it to an Echo Boy JR on a memory setting on a quarter dotted note, and I just open up the bus here, and that way it kind of flies into the track with a nice transition. Now for the break, I love to use these atmospheres from Alchemy. Basically what I just do, I just modulate or automate this this X and Y pad. I just kind of go over here with my mouse while having here the touch function activated, and that creates these beautiful little patterns here. Yeah, and that's basically what I do with multiple layers, with different kinds of presets. And sometimes I even add like a crystallizer, it feathers it all up and makes it all sound glitchy and weird. Then I add a bit of an atmosphere from Splice, more atmospheres from Splice, a forest ambience from Splice, and that's basically it. And then a riser, and on top of all of this, I give it this little piano melody I played. And for this piano, I love to just use the originals piano from Spitfire because it sounds so full and so beautiful, and I can adjust the hammers, the tightness, the reverb, the pedals, everything. And then another piano melody just to round everything up. And I just like to record it in my MIDI piano and leave it like this, because I don't think it's necessary to affect it if it sounds good. It's, again, organic. So you build a bit of tension with some risers. Then I made a clean cut and again went back to the first drop, just copy and pasted it and pulled it all back together to the main theme. Now the beautiful thing in the second drop is towards the end I use a bunch of cymbals and hats to give it more energy and more movement, but that's basically just the entire change I did in the second drop, and some bongos here as well. So that's the only thing I really changed in the second drop. And of course, I opened up the pads a bit more in the cutoff, and the bass a bit more, and the forever flute as well, of course. But that's basically it, just opening it up and looking at the modulation patterns here. The main piano, yes, this was the main loop. I didn't really create a lot of tension in the first drop. I created most of the tension in the second drop. And in regards to the Forever Flute, I opened that one up as well. And as you can see, I just kind of started to open everything up a bit more in the second drop. But that's basically it, guys. It's super simple. Just try to keep your lead elements as clean as possible. Try to make everything feel organic and nice and beautiful, and get creative with the samples you get from Splice. Pitch them up, pitch them down, add phase distortion, my personal favorite. Use echo, and you should have a lovely production. Why I think this got signed to Sekora is because Sekora is a very nature-based label, and this is a very organic and nature-driven sound. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you like this one. Also make sure to check out my website, maxbluchermusic.com, where I have a lot of free resources to offer you guys. And yeah guys, have a great day, take care, and talk to you soon.